As a leader, are morale and discipline critical to the success of your organization? You bet they are. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, we inspire. We're in a series based upon the book, The Leadership Secrets of Attila the Hun by Wess Roberts, an MD. A book that was a generational book for leadership that I don't see around right now, but it's right up there with Think and Grow Rich and How to Win Friends and Influence People and other books like that. All right, it's a book that should be read more than once. I've read it 3 or 4 times, but I hadn't read it for a while, and I saw it and I said, you know what, let me read it again. And it's the type of book that when you read it again and you've evolved over time, you pick up new stuff from it. So let's get to it. Today our topic is on morale and discipline. Once again, big shout out to Wess Roberts. From the book, Leadership Secrets of Attila the Hun, the traditions of our nomadic life have given little concern to our morale and discipline as a nation. We've had passing moments of unity among our tribes, but this unity has been set aside when tribal loyalties have been purchased by foreign nations. Our people need the constancy of knowing what it means to be a Hun. Their spirit as Huns has been betrayed each time they've been subjected to an alliance with a nation that we couldn't conquer. Morale and discipline as Huns is utmost if we are to pass the test imposed upon us as a unified nation. I have called you together at this time to teach you the ways of morale and discipline. Through them, we may have peace in our camp. Listen and learn from my counsel. Morale and discipline are central to unity. That is so true. You've got to have people on the same page, and there has to be a certain way to do things that can be counted upon. You know, like in a basketball game, if one guy is trying to create a double team, he's got to know that the people behind him are going to scoot in to take up the space where he was covering because he's acting as a team player. Everybody has to make an adjustment. It has to be unified. It has to be disciplined. As simple as that. The conclusive test of the morale of your Huns is the disciplined manner in which they bear the burdens of trial. A lot of times when you're going through a particular discipline, it's not the most favorable thing that you want to do. Like in a basketball game, if the ball's on the floor, you dive for it. Okay? If I'm the coach and you're one of my players, you don't dive for it, you're going to be sitting your butt right down on that bench. You're going to be one of the Pine brothers. All right? The ball's on the floor, we dive for it. And we practice that. So, I mean, these disciplines that we talk about aren't something that you just say, okay, this is the way you do it. You drill, practice, and rehearse. And then when it shows up in the game, you are reacting and not having to think about it. That's the way you want people to be in certain in business situations when it's, the ball's on the floor, when it's a 50-50 ball. Same thing is true in business. You have to be able to counter any people. They have to bear the burden and do so willingly. Why? Because they're dedicated to the growth of the team. Discipline is not suppression. It is the teaching of correct ways expected of Huns. When I teach people to dive for the ball on the floor, it's not because I want to see them skin their knees. It's because if you want to win the game, that extra possession may be the difference between winning and losing. Same thing is true in business. It can be the difference between making a lot of money for the business or not making the money, or accomplishing the goal that the business is trying to do. You follow what I'm saying? It's the little things that add up. They compound. Without discipline, Huns cannot behave with common action. If you want to have the most strength, you get your team to work together in conjunction. Kind of like, when the Olympics, where you see the swimming, where they do all the people in the pool doing the same thing. All right, if one person's off, it throws off the whole program, doesn't it? Same thing is true in a basketball game and also in a business situation. There's got to be unity, and how do you accomplish that? Once again, drill, practice, and rehearsal with discipline. Morale is the spirit by which Huns submit their services to the tribe. It is not uncontrolled celebration and romping around the campfire. Even when we're celebrating, we do that as a team. We do that together. That's a very important thing. Discipline is not always welcomed by the Huns. Remember when you were a kid? Why do I have to do that? Why do I have to clean up my room? Why do I have to set up the table? Why do I have to take the garbage out? Discipline is not always welcomed by the Huns, but it is an essential factor for the success of a team. And when a discipline is applied, discipline's not a bad word. Discipline's a good word. If you have the discipline to get up every morning and you go through your quiet thinking time, that's a good thing. That's positive discipline. You follow what I'm saying? All right, so discipline is a good thing. Discipline is a bad thing when you don't feel like doing it. All right, that's what you say. But your coach, your boss, whatever, if it's for the greater good, then it becomes part of you and it benefits the team as a whole. Discipline does not mean a loss of individuality. Discipline means getting a particular job done, and once you've done it sort of the standard way, if you can creatively think of a way to get the job done, more expeditiously or less costly or more powerfully, or how, whatever's going to, be a positive, that's a good thing. So discipline doesn't mean a loss of individuality. Discipline is a foundation for you to use your individuality. Okay? It's a foundation for you to use your individuality. Discipline never allows deviation from order or from principles we hold important among our tribes or our nation. When something is critically important, sometimes there's only one way to get that job done. All right? Only one way to get that job done. So you have to figure out which are the most important things. Like Christmas is always going to be December 25th. We're never going to make that on the following Monday. Why? Because it's important enough to be on that day. As opposed to other holidays where we said, okay, we'll celebrate it on the following Monday. You follow what I'm saying? So you have to make some judgment choices of importance. Morale results from pride in being a Hun. Discipline brings morale. When people are doing the same thing, even like as a basketball coach, when I had my team running sprints, do you think the kids liked running sprints? No, but it was an identity. They were on the team. Other people were maybe watching the practice. They were thinking, boy, these guys are doing a lot of running. All right, why do they do the running? Because if you want to win a basketball game, it's all running. That's what the game's all about. All right, if you can't run, you can't play. You can be the best shooter in the world, the best, the tallest person on the planet, but if you can't get up and down, you're not going to win the game. Discipline brings morale. If everybody's doing it, and if you can make it even a competition with the discipline, that makes it even better. Discipline creates morale. Chieftains never condone a lack of either morale or discipline. They plan for morale and discipline. They cause it to happen. You want to have a successful organization, you need to have morale and discipline. You need to have your people in a positive mode and being disciplined in the activities that they are performing. And when they do and when they succeed, it's sort of like a circle. One leads to the other, which leads to the other, which leads to the other. Morale, discipline, morale. That's the way it works. Discipline builds the inner confidence of our Huns. Thus, discipline builds morale. Okay, just said that. Huns seek discipline in their lives. They more willingly follow chieftains who are themselves disciplined. People are starving for leadership. They're looking for a way to improve. They don't always say that, but trust me, when I was coaching and I had the kids, they're yakking all the time, but we're down at the end of the game, it's a tie score, there's 7 seconds left in the game and we call a timeout. What do you suppose all the kids are doing? They're not talking, they're all going, okay, coach, what do we do now? They're starving for leadership. They're starving for it. They're starving for discipline, okay? This is the way we're going to do it. And you've practiced that. It's not something that you just spring on somebody. Discipline isn't a sometimes thing. It's an all the time thing, and it's something that you have worked on as an individual. And you as the chieftain, you as the coach, you as the boss, have to lead by example. And when you do that, other people say, he's doing it or she's doing it. If they do it, then I will do it. It makes it a lot easier. Trust me, when people see you putting out a little extra effort, they say, well, I'm not going to put out more effort than I'm putting out. People don't like that. People like to say, I'm giving as much as anybody else is giving. I'm not a slacker. Make sense? All right, we talked about building the discipline and morale for your team. Let's always remember, hey, don't ration the passion, fashion the passion. I'm Eli's dad.